The flagship floor of Aldrin and Solis was the kind of place that taught you, the moment you stepped through the doors, to move quietly. The carpet absorbed sound. The cases held their light. The air carried a faint trace of cedar and something older. The smell. Petra Solis had decided in her first week, of money that had been in the same family long enough to stop being discussed. She was 24, 3 weeks into the job, still learning which clients came in on Tuesdays and which pieces they expected to be pulled before they asked. Supervisor, Annette, had told her to watch the floor the way you watch a room at a dinner party. Read what people need before they say it, and make sure the need is met before it becomes a request. Petra was still learning to do that. On this particular Tuesday morning, she was watching, and not quite sure what she was reading. The woman had come through the main entrance at 11 minutes past 10. Petra noticed her the way you notice someone who moves through a room with the calm assumption that the room was arranged for them. Not arrogance, nothing like that, just an ease that felt earned. She was dressed in a charcoal coat, a structured bag over one arm, hair pinned with the casual precision of someone who had stopped spending energy on being noticed and started spending it on other things. She set her on the glass counter with the comfortable authority of a person who had set bags on this particular counter before, and she smiled at Petra, not the managing smile some clients used, but a real one, brief and direct, and said she had a standing 11 o'clock with the consultation suite. Her name was Dr. Ossiholt, Imara Ossiholt. Petra was reaching for the appointment book when Gavin Creel appeared at the edge of the floor. He had a way of arriving that preceded him, the particular sound of his shoes on marble before the carpet swallowed it. The adjustment of his jacket as he approached a situation he had already decided needed managing. He was the senior floor manager, 15 years at Aldrin and Solis, and he had opinions about the floor. Petra had been on the receiving end of those opinions 3 times in her first month. Always delivered in the same register, quiet, procedural, absolute. "Can I help you find something?" he said to the woman doctor. Ossiholt turned toward him with the same composure she'd brought through the door. She explained again. She had a standing 11 o'clock. Anniversary consultation, the suite. "The consultation suite is reserved for account holders," Gavin said. She told him, without any change in her tone, that she was an account holder. Had been for 6 years. "I'll need to see some proof of purchase," he said, gesturing toward the cases around them. Petra was still holding the appointment book. She watched Dr. Ossiholt look at Gavin for a moment. A single, considering pause. The way you look at a sentence that doesn't make grammatical sense and give it one more read before deciding it means what it appears to mean. Then she set her bag on the counter again, opened it, and produced a card. A black card, matte, embossed. She placed it in front of him. Gavin picked it up, turned it over, set it back. "I'll need to see the original account holder," he said. "This type of account is typically held in a business name." The floor had gone quiet in the way that floors do when they are pretending not to. Listen. 2 associates at the far case had their heads down over their work. A client in the wrap alcove looked toward the sound of the exchange and then looked away. Petra had stopped pretending to look at the appointment book. "I am the original account holder," Dr. Ossiholt said. The same voice. The same register. Not louder. Not clipped. Just level, the way a fact is level when it doesn't need inflection to be true. "If you'd like to wait, I'd like to ask you one question," she said, and the interruption was so quiet that it barely registered as one. "What is the standard verification procedure for a Meridian account holder?" She said it the way you say something you already know the answer to. Not to score a point, but to make space for the room to hear it. Gavin told her the suite was not available at this time. Dr. Ossiholt placed her card back in her bag. She did not raise her voice. She did not leave. She stood where she was, beside the case in plain sight of the floor, and waited. Posture said that she had been in rooms where she was expected to disappear, and that she had long since stopped obliging. Petra looked at the 2 associates at the far case. Neither of them moved. She looked at Gavin, who was already turning away. She looked at Dr. Ossiholt, who was watching the atrium with the patience of someone who has done the math on how long this takes and decided she can wait it out. Petra put the appointment book down. She picked up the desk phone and dialed the extension for the VIP client suite on the 4th floor. She was not sure. exactly what she was going to say. She knew that the 11 o'clock was in the book. She had seen it when she opened the desk. That morning Holt in the 11 slot, the annotation beside it reading standing Anne. Consult third year meridian tier, do not reassign. Shh. She told the person, who answered that a client was waiting on the main floor, and the suite appointment seemed to have come loose from its moorings. Could someone come down? Sylvie Merrick had been director of VIP client relations at Aldrin and Solis for 11 years. She was a compact woman in her 50s, with reading glasses on a chain, and the focused energy of someone who had seen every possible variant of a floor problem and had a resolution for each of them already drafted. She came down the atrium staircase at a pace that was not quite a stride and not quite a walk, and her face, when she spotted Amara Holt standing at the main case, shifted through something complicated: recognition, warmth, and then a tightening around the eyes that had nothing to do with the person she was looking at. Imara. She came across the floor with both hands extended. I am so sorry. I had the suite set, and I didn't hear you'd arrived, Doctor. Holt took her hands. The warmth in the greeting was real on both sides. Petra could see it. Sylvie, it's fine. I've been enjoying the floor. Sylvie turned. Not sharply. Not with theater, and found Gavin. She looked at him for a moment in the way that contains more information than a paragraph. Then she said evenly, Gavin, would you give us a moment? He was already reading something in her face that he had not anticipated when crossed the floor 20 minutes before. He nodded. He moved away. Sylvie turned back to the floor. There were 8 people visible: associates, a client, a concierge near the door, and she addressed all of them without raising her voice. Dr. C. Holt is a Meridian Tier account holder and has been for 6 years. She is also the architect of record for this building's 2019 redesign. Small pause. If any of you have been in the atrium today, her name is on the commission plaque beside the east staircase. She is here for her standing anniversary consultation and should have been brought to the suite the moment she arrived. The floor's particular hush deepened. Petra felt it in her chest. Not embarrassment. Something more like the feeling of a room recalibrating, all at once what it had just allowed to happen. Dr. Holt did not look triumphant. She looked the same as she had when she walked through the door. Composed, direct, present. She touched Sylvie's arm briefly and said, Shall we go up? And the two of them walked to the atrium staircase together, the floor opening quietly to let them pass. Petra stood at the case for a long moment after they'd gone. She thought about the commission plaque she walked past every morning. The names carved into a strip of brushed bronze, modest and permanent. She had never stopped to read them. She thought about the fact that she had dialed the phone and said something, and she was not certain it was enough. And she was not certain what enough would have looked like. She thought about Dr. Holt standing at that case with her card on the counter, waiting, not needing the room to agree with her, to know she was right. Gavin was on administrative review before the lunch hour. Sylvie sent a floor-wide note by end of day. All Meridian Tier appointments were to be cross-referenced with the arrivals sheet each morning, and no account verification was to be conducted on the sales floor without first consulting the client services record. The note did not name anyone. It did not need to. The consultation, by every account from the suite staff, ran long in the good way. The way it runs when someone finally gets to do the thing they came for, unhurried, in a room that was ready for them. Dr. Holt left with a small wrapped box and the particular ease of a person who has been seen at last, the way they always deserve to be. Petra went home that evening and stood in the atrium for an extra minute on the way out. She found the plaque. She found the name. She thought about what it meant that it had been there the whole time, and that she had walked past it every day without looking, and that it had taken a woman standing quietly at a counter, not asking for anything more than what she'd already earned, to make Petra finally stop and read it. She read it twice. Then she went home.